Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Mr. Cat Season 2, the beginning of Group B, our second series of Group B, and our second match of said series. It is Geek Fam versus TNC. Game number 2, now getting our way into the draft. Of course, TNC having a bit of a rough first game, getting out-drafted, possibly outclassed as well by Geek Fam, a pretty well-rounded, pretty solid team, all things considered. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do here in game number 2. Of course, I'm not alone. My name is Mont. Joining me today, as always, is Trent Pax. I mean, we talked about the draft last time for game number 1, Trent, and how that was an issue for TNC. How big of an issue was it for TNC? Do you think that they had the tools to win regardless, or do you think it was just a major outdraft by Geek Fam?
Yeah, no, I think TNC definitely, they had a plan, they went for it, it was just an all-in one, and TNC had a great final answer in that PL. It really did work. It maybe not so much the pick as to how well I think he did play it, because there were a couple fights that he barely doppelgangered out of a static storm. I think he dodged one waning rift and a silence from a drow in the same doppelganger at one point while it was still like level 2. So like there were a lot of moments where that game could have potentially gotten out of hand had Teehee gone down, but he stayed alive, kept that farm up, kept split pushing on the side lanes, and just always showed up for the fights when they needed him. And now I believe last game these were the first. There was actually that really early Luna ban, right? Yeah, TNC took it out in the first phase. This time, not so much.
Yeah. I'm surprised this gets through. I haven't seen this here in a while, whether it gets banned all the time or there's just not picked anymore. I'm pretty sure it's more of the former than it is the latter. Shadow Demon is still available if they want to go for that classic combo. Do you think, would it be surprising to you if TNC either banned or picked Shadow Demon with their next couple of bans or picks?
Yeah, I would say. I mean, it's definitely worth just banning the Shadow Demon. Is it like? Do you really want to hand over SD Luna?
Not really.
You have a CM, you have a Weaver.
Yeah. The question would be then: is Earth Spirit Shadow Demon the best roaming support duo or the best support duo in general? And I'd say, yeah, it seems pretty good to me.
Yeah, I'd say it's okay. Yep.
So
I don't think it's really worth handing over, but I also don't think it's an auto lose. If you do, they might be more concerned about certain offlaners and stuff. Yeah. Like, because right now the pool's already so limited. Darkseer, Sand King, Slardar, Legion.
Man, I gotta say, these drafts just feel so much more different than what Faceless was picking the past couple of days in this tournament. I think Faceless just kind of has their own style of playing, and they have some ridiculous choices. We talked a lot about Magnus. That doesn't seem to be a thing. Nor does Ember Spirit, which is yet to be banned or picked today, I'm pretty sure. So I know there's different, like, there's reasons why you don't pick these heroes, and a lot of it has to do with the first couple of picks in the draft, but it's just kind of weird how things change so drastically, even in the same region, just by two different teams playing.
Yeah, and as expected, they just take out another offlaner. So the question is this Weaver going to be offlane? Is that the plan? Or do they have a specific one in mind that they're about to grab right now to make sure Geek Fam can't get it? So who's left? Axe and Underlord. They went Underlord. They would have CM Aura. It would be decent for the Weaver.
10 seconds remaining.
I think that's... I would guess Underlord's going to get picked. Yeah, okay, they'll take him.
And you called it. Again.
That makes sense. Well, they also played it earlier, so it's kind of cheating. But
very true.
There's also no one left in the pool, so it's just kind of like, now that we've denied that from you, there's Axe, and then we get into some of the odder ones, right? Because they took the Weaver themselves from TNC, which some teams kind of get
like
pushed into.
For example, would be one,
yeah, like those dead offlaners.
Yeah. So I suppose Clockwork, which might not be an awful decision, I suppose, given the heroes. But they're not going to go for it yet. It's the Witch Doctor first and foremost for Geek Fam. And TNC will have the next pickup. TNC themselves, they've got the CM, they've got the Weaver, they've got the Underlord. So about one of each, one core, one offlaner, one support. And so looking for, I would imagine they're mid-last. They'll probably grab another support here if that's what they want to go for. But the question is which one?
5 seconds.
Yeah, with the Weaver, they can go for any position 4 hero they want. They don't know who the mid laner is, so they're not sure how much pressure they can or will be able to enact. They know there's an Earth Spirit on the side of Geek Fam, so they're aware that they want to be pressuring the mid lane, which means Luna and Witch Doctor will likely be alone, probably be up top. Unlikely you're going to do any sort of aggro play with just 2 or with an Earth Spirit in general. So they could look towards someone who could come up top with the Underlord and bully a little bit, but Ogre's already gone. The Darkseer's gone if you want to do that little like Underlord into the 4 role. So a lot of these picks so far working out for both sides. Like some serious, like solid draft, like the Underlord Undying was another one, and it'll be the Bounty. So
Ooh, Bounty.
Dire team
that's a good 4 roll who can actually harass up here and do some work against just Luna and Witch Doctor.
I do like Bounty. I don't know how much you like this or if it's really that big of a combination. I like Arcane Aura with really any like spammable nuke type hero with Bounty
10
Hunter.
seconds remaining.
It helps him a lot with his Shadow Walk too,
Yeah,
because he can run into some really annoying issues,
5
especially early
seconds
on
remaining.
when you're trying to like Shadow Walk around at the beginning of the game.
So they have Bounty, which is going to just increase their gold if they can get to level 6 at a
TNC's
relatively
turn
decent
to
time.
ban.
But
This is actually what I was gonna say for Geek Fan, because I think Timbersaw, when Underlord first came out, everyone was first picking Timbersaw into Underlord. Like the second someone picked Underlord, they immediately picked Timbersaw. So
10
that's really
seconds
literally the
remaining.
only offlaner left that's like any good right now.
yeah.
And he's super
5
good against
seconds
Underlord. So
remaining.
Geek Fam
Well,
coming out pretty well in this draft.
what just for the layman, what
Reserve
makes
time.
Timbersaw so good against Underlord in general? Besides
He does pretty well against the pit. Like he's just generally beefy and tanky, so it's control, but it's not brutal control. He's a strength hero, so of course that really helps you out. Just give him the whirling death, and then you can try and get him into a 1v1. That's really the best possible scenario. In this case, I'm not sure. They might even have to, because of how this draft's worked out a little bit awkwardly for Geek Fam, they might try and get a Timbersaw to Underlord 1v1 and go aggro with an Earth Spirit, which you never really want to do, but if you can get a couple kills, and since they have a Bounty Hunter anyway on the side of TNC, now you can do this aggro tri-lane pretty confidently as Geek Fam.
You don't really ever want the Earth Spirit setting in one lane all the time
Dire
anyways,
team
whether it's
Right.
aggro or defensive, which is what we saw. We saw Tim's he was part of a defensive trialing with an Earth Spirit, which is not something you want to have happen. So if they put themselves into that position, I wouldn't be surprised, but I just feel as if getting something done with this Earth Spirit against
10
whoever is
seconds
mid is
remaining.
important. But we don't know who it's going to be, and it might be a very difficult hero to kill mid.
5 seconds remaining.
Maybe it's Magnus, dude. If there's no real, it's not going to be Magnus, but
Reserve
Bring back
time.
Mag.
I don't want to. I want to see Magnus. I know it's not going to be Magnus, but I want to see it. There's nobody that takes advantage of it.
Big hero still left. Jug still in the pool here.
Yeah. You go PL again. Theoretically, it's still available for Geek Fam if they wanted it, but they already have a Luna.
They are lacking on the control for the Weaver for sure. That is one issue right now. But I can't really think of anyone that would be that amazing.
RPs, dude, all day.
Damn RPs.
I'm
Shadow
really
Fiend
just,
actually made it to the end of a draft. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's nice. Well, not that it matters, but a minute and a half left for Geek Fam as their last band is going to be coming out. They almost 100% likely need a mid hero with their pick, and they will be picking next, followed by TNC's pick, which also more than likely needs a mid hero. Shadow Fiend is something that is available if they want it. It's not really more. It doesn't have lockdown for Geek Fam, nor for TNC. There's other heroes available, obviously, that are going to be decent in that mid lane. I feel like I'm missing something obvious here for the mid lane that could be very strong. Like you talked about Jug, we said PL, although I'm not sure how likely that is going to be to grab the PL. Jug would be more likely, I think.
I think
in
there
the
are some
circumstances.
teams that would, because at this point you're basically just going to rely on your Earth Spirit to control up the Weaver, so it's going to be all on him, which is fine because even though it's like shorter cooldowns at the beginning of the game, it eventually builds into that really nice silence, the full 4 seconds, and Timbersaw and Luna can output damage pretty quickly to try and kill him off. I think a lot of teams would draft something like a Terrorblade right now if you're Geek Fam, because you want to like rotate down early on with this Luna and just go crazy.
Yeah.
And Shadow Fiend can do that, and Jug can do that, and
OD's
OD do that too, I suppose.
TNC's turn
Is
to
this
pick.
one of those BKB games instead of a Weaver Lincoln's games just because of, I don't know, some of the abilities that are in here? Or is this something you still get a Lincoln's for, or just not even go the Lincoln's for in general?
Yeah, you probably don't build Lincolns this game, I would say,
10
actually.
seconds
Probably
remaining.
like a Ring, Dragonlance, possibly BKB,
5
unless you're like
seconds
snowballing hard
remaining.
enough to just go right into a Deso and then back for the BKB.
Right.
Yeah, something like that.
Reserve time.
So
10
the
seconds
sniper is still in the
remaining.
pool. Not too bad.
5 seconds remaining.
Gotta have to be very wary about the
Wow.
push bottom, but
Tinker.
we're back to the tink.
Yeah. Once more. This time picked up by TNC instead of Execration.
Hmm.
Execration not in this game, of course. So they have an interesting combination of heroes. A lot of very slippery heroes. Not only that, but you have Dark Rift on top of it. So ganking, Geek Fam, though, they do have very, very quick bursts to be able to bring some of these heroes down. If they do find them, they have some decent lockdown. I don't know, man. This is an interesting draft from both teams, really.
I think Geek Fam's is much easier to execute, and I would say more likely to win this game. I think you have to do a lot less, and you just play your heroes, and things will look pretty well. Like,
the thing that I'm also like, Tinker, I feel like is very gankable in the early stages of this game too, with an Earth Spirit, even a Witch Doctor rotating in. I feel like they could shut down this Tinker really hard if they want to.
the old OD setup for Earth Spirit, we've seen it time and time again, and often gets banned out, but it wasn't this game, so certainly good. Yeah, it just all I see happening is that with this, I assume they're going aggro with the Luna. Maybe they won't. No, they definitely will. Yeah, they want Velo matched up with the Abyssal Underlord, so it's exactly what we expect. They'll go aggro down here, and this rotation from the OD at like 12 minutes, where he just like comes bottom and they group up and they kill this tower, and then they move mid and they do the same thing. I just don't see them having the resources to fight that unless something goes disastrously wrong bottom for Geek Fam. So in order to win this game, they have to weather through that storm, probably sacrifice a couple towers and try not to lose too many resources while they're splitting the map up with this Weaver and this Tinker, and then they get to a point where Geek Fam take a bad fight, and you just like 5-man kill them under your tower or something like that, as they've gotten way too ahead of themselves with this like Essence Aura, and they just keep pushing, things like that. But
well, the good news is if they do weather through that storm, they have track, and each one of those kills is going to be worth a significant amount of money. You get a lot of farm for their Tinker very quickly just by him being evolved. Same too with the Weaver. But like you mentioned, this mid-game team fight potential from Geek Fam is very, very strong, and we'll see how well they can do with it. All right.
It looks terrifying, I have to say. I'm heavily favoring Geek Fam's draft this game, but I mean,
do you think they, with those team fight wins in the mid game, they're just gonna take it quickly, or what?
It's not necessarily just gonna be over. It'll just kind of be like they've just slowly gained so much gold that you won't even be able to fight into them.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah. But overall, some of the highlights here and why they probably went to this Tinker, they don't have the best catch out, right? It's only going to be the Earth Spirit. It's like basically all on him to try and grab this Tinker until there's like a Yule Scepter on this Timber Saw, and maybe then he can go for some plays, or if Teehee happens to be close enough for an Astral or something. But in that sense, if they can hold those towers long enough, things will go a little bit better. And they have rotated the Underlord down bottom. They see what's happening here with this Timber Saw. And this is great. The level 1 gank. It's perfect.
Yeah, I think he's done. You get reactive armor. Can they get that last hit? They do. Tim's at the Shadow Walk ready to go. Rior almost goes down to the tower, but he'll be all right. And already TNC getting on the board. Big kill.
And this is the kind of pressure you want to put on Timbers on those first 3 levels. It's perfect. Well, namely before the 3rd.
He actually has 13 seconds. He used his Astral a little bit early. So if they're going to go with the Rolling Boulder, they're going to do it blind, but that's fine. Cuckoo's still getting caught. But there's no follow-up damage, really. Teehee, again, doesn't have Astral for 5 seconds, and so they just don't have the damage A, and they don't have the lockdown B. Maybe they're going to keep going. They have Astral ready to go if they want it, but they're not going to use it. And Teehee's shaking his head. Top lane, Velo now getting jumped on. The dive is here. Tim's runs in. There's the Timber Chain, the Frostbite. This is just, Velo is getting crushed. This lane is awful for him in the first minute and a half of the game.
Yeah, this is working very well. They got the right lanes here from TNC and Geek Fam. Their plan instead is to just keep the Luna down here, I guess, and try and just pressure into this tower. But early on, just these 2 heroes can't do too much against Underlord. And obviously, Raji's putting his pressure in the mid. He also had a pretty cute play where he rolled right onto Cuckoo and destroyed his salve. Or like he used it and it was immediately popped. So he had to ferry to a second one, but not a big loss in the end. And that secondary kill on Velo is just brutal. Can't even TP back to lane. He's just walking.
Oh, he's waddling there. Oh, God, Timber Saw. Not having a great time. Velo is struggling. Strug City, if you will. They even have CM level 2 now, so she's got Arcane Aura and Frostbite. And I don't know. They're kind of like, they're rotating these. They're leaving Raven as well as Rior up here. And then they're going to rotate Tim's mid now. So he's level 2. He already has boots. So he's going to start trying to find something here momentarily.
As the levels start stacking up, though, that's when more of this draft from Geek Fam will come into play, right? Like, Once Timber hits level 3 and he has 2 points reactive armor, this kind of stuff's just not going to really work anymore.
Self, not going to work. Tim's and Cuckoo in the mid lane combine up for a kill. Meanwhile, top lane, looks like they're going to try to get Roar here. Now Raj has to back away. Raven probably gets this on Raj. He just does too much damage.
All right.
Now the Frostbite coming out. Velo, he's got Timber Chain. Can he get it off? And how far do you dive? Raven could have gone with the Jikuchi and won. Decided against it. Instead, however, who else is coming up with the Bounty Hunter? This is a kill, I believe. It is. And Tim's now provides the 5th kill to TNC within the first 3 minutes of the game. I don't want to say this is disastrous, Trent, but it feels pretty fucking disastrous.
Yeah, it's going terribly. I mean, draft doesn't matter if you have 5 kills at 3.5 minutes. Like, it doesn't matter at all.
So much about this draft, and we're like, oh, I guess we forgot the fact that they could just snowball control. And they're looking for Teehee again. Astral's used. Rolling Boulder from Raj is there. There's the Shuriken. Good use of that stun. Body blocking so Teehee won't go down. Luckily to stay alive. But it's still a lot of damage exchanged. And Teehee, it looks like, is walking back home. He doesn't have any bottle charges. He could go Shrine, I think, and that's probably what he's going to do.
Well, it's now, if you look at the net worth, there are 5 heroes in the top. Well, if you look at the top 5 heroes, that is. One of them is red, and there's 4 green ones. So they are certainly finding that snowball. Jeez, it looks like they like killed a courier at the start of the game or something.
Yeah, meanwhile, the CM is just like, whatever. I don't really care. I mean, the Thunderlord hasn't even really been involved in anything. He's just getting a good farm. It's like he's tied with Luna. So, Velo levels 4. Okay, he's got level 2 Timber Chain. He might be able to live through some of this. Is there any place to enough with Weaver? Yes, there is. So, armor reduction is there. Then they're looking to smoke and finally get a kill on the board for Geek fan. That would be Guru, who is currently doing very well now. Top lane.
Oh, top lane.
Yeah, Velo's going to survive back towards mid. Guru rolling over and they have Bulwar's benefits to try to body block him. I don't think this is a kill.
You've,
I'm very sure that it's not a kill.
You've become the robot mod. Yeah, you're robot mod.
Alright, hold on a second. I'm going to disconnect the team speaking and see if it fixes anything.
It's the, it's in client too.
Hold on a second.
That USB issue, I think.
Yeah, probably. Alright, I'm assuming this isn't changing anything.
Correct. You are still robot mod.
Well, go and tell about what's happening. He's standing down.
Well, he's quite dead, yeah. So they finally get one back on the side of the Dire, but Tim's is here. Snags it right there again. And Arcane Aura comes out.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, you sound fantastic.
Wow, great.
Classic USB.
Our USB issues on this computer are some of the most annoying things in the world. Luckily, though, guys, it didn't really affect your broadcast too much. So I apologize profusely, but at the same time, whatever.
Well, Tim's is rich, dude. This bounty hunter. This is the best bounty hunter I have seen in forever. I don't even remember last time this hero did so much work.
He has enough for arcanes. He's living the life, my friend.
Yeah, he's like, what, 300 gold above the enemy mid laner. And Raji, he's probably going to get blocked. He missed the kick.
Shuriken.
It's already rolled.
Missiles dead. Is it really worth it? Meanwhile, Sam H finds a kill on the Crimson Bottom with Pit of Malice as well as Rain of Firestorm, rather. Rain of Fire. Anyway. This game is looking worse by the minute, I hate to say.
Yeah, it's like a ridiculous lead for 6.5 minutes, over almost 4,000 gold for TNC.
If Geek Fam were to come back in this game, I would be shocked beyond belief. But who knows what'll happen. The net worth is telling quite the story. They could use level 6 for the Bounty Hunter. When he gets that, they find even more gold. Raven up in the top lane is actually starting to get bullied a fair bit by Velo. But there's some heroes coming in. Timber Chain, Raven's still alive. Good stick charge. And Velo now using that Timber Chain to be aggressive. Might fall Shuriken. The way the swarm's going to go, it might actually bring him down. They do get the kill onto Tim's. Meanwhile, Velo's actually going to live with the reactive armor.
Oh, that was close.
Rior is going to get away somehow. He's going to have to try to go for the Crystal Nova. The Chakra gets a double kill. Velo turning it around for his team.
Oh, that was so close in so many instances.
Yeah, that was kind of nuts. Okay.
Oh, Cuckoo. All right. He just gives him the ulti.
We're not done yet. This game's not over yet, Trent.
That was just a screw you, I'm burning your mana and running home. That was.
Yeah.
He.
Ooh,
Did he just buy an Iron Town?
Who?
He. Dude, he was like, GG, I'm out.
He definitely
He's
did.
done. He's like, later, dude.
And
Now there's
no.
a bounty here.
No, there's a bounty. Who took the bounty? Oh, Teehee, get out. Get out, buddy.
Dude, that Iron Town armor, though.
Oh, here's Vel. Oh, this could be good. Tim's. See you later, buddy. I think you're dead. They wrote space created.
Yeah,
Rotate
damn, dude.
4 heroes. Send one of the heroes home. Raven takes the tier 1 tower top lane. I don't even think Tim's really cares that much.
Ooh, look at this, though. An immediate smoke as well from the Luna and the Witch Doctor, and they are hunting that jungle. They have a ward.
We've got
they
level
see a Tinker.
6. There is a ward.
Oh, you know he's about to farm these.
This is it. This is where it turns around. Maybe, probably not now that he's back in lane.
Dude, does he know? Did he see? They had a Radiant Ward over the shrine. Maybe he caught the smoke.
Dire's top tower
Because there's no reason he wouldn't be marching those camps. He definitely knows.
Dire's middle
Yeah,
tower
he knows.
is under attack.
Oh, Tim's is going to scout this out. Look at this. They know. Sentry drops. I mean, I think Tim's is dead again, but it could be worse. Raven comes in, and Crimson's probably dead, I would say. Psionics is going to live. It's a 1-for-1. Support for support.
Yeah.
I do think it's better for Geek Fan because they're stopping the bounty hunter from getting 6.
True, but Luna also just spent a bunch of time not farming. I guess she got the kill on the bounty hunter, though, so it's fine.
Bottom lane, they're starting to get some real farm for Sam H. He's building into his mech, and he's not that far off anyway.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Try to
attack.
take this tier 1 tower down bottom. Raven is in fact building, like you had predicted correctly, the Dragonlance, and that'll be pretty helpful
Dire's bottom
considering how
tower
far
is
ahead they
under
are. It's going to
attack.
only make it even easier. TP in from Velo, Temper Chain Chakram. This might be the best fight they can get, but they miss out on some of the initiation potential. Raven. It's the freezing field. Velo. There's the Pit of Malice, but stun comes out, and actually Riora's in trouble. So too is Sam H. Velo might be able to take this here.
Radiant's
They're going
middle
to Dark
tower
Rift away with
is
Sam
under
H. I don't think he can make it out. Velo gets a double kill. And all of a sudden, TNC making a couple of mistakes, overestimating their ability in this game.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Track is
attack.
Yeah, they're down there, like, there's no bounty there or anything to try and help out, and they just get a little bit ahead of themselves, perhaps. I like Weaver, like, Raven's super farm for sure, but he doesn't really have the damage to pump into these fights quite yet. He's getting there, though, but it's also a Timber Saw, so Velo just totally frontlining it, has max reactive armor. Still, you just output so much damage with Chakram.
You know, and they've given enough room now with his Iron Talon Teehee jungling Outworld Devour that he's starting to get somewhere. Diving under the maybe tier 1 tower bottom, Sam H. He's got some help with Tim's nearby, but they could use another TP. Rotating down is going to be the CM. Chakram, Pit of Malice is going to come through. Here's the Firestorm. There's a Lucent Beam coming out. Here's the heat-seeking missiles coming from Cuckoo. Boots of Travel is done now, by the way. Roar's looking to come in and try to find somebody, and it's probably going to be Crimson with the Frostbite. Nope, they missed it. They will go for it. They have heat-seeking missiles. The laser will come. They need the Shuriken, but it's not there. The auto attack, stick charge will keep him alive. Should have killed him had that not gone, but he stays up and ready, and they're just barely, narrowly surviving these engagements.
Bit of a riskier push from Geek Fan that they were that deep, but they don't get caught out. No one gets slowed up. Again, the catch isn't that crazy from TNC, so kind of okay to be that deep, but well, what we're really looking for is the full group up where they bring in Teehee and he actually joins them on that play, but working towards a Midas.
This Timber Saw is starting to become a nuisance in TNC. They don't have many ways to deal with the guy, Frostbite being one of them. Look at this.
Nice.
He's going to turn
Nice
on to
play.
Sam H and kill him. Pit of Malice will go, but Sam H is going to fall. Timber Chain Velo is now playing very well. All of a sudden, this game is turning around just off the back of the Timber Saw. He's looking for
Yeah.
Rior too. Rior is going to be able to
Dire's
juke the
middle tower
Chakram, and
is
now
under attack.
Velo's thinking about diving, and he will do so as there's no TPs coming in. Still, Velo is really going for this kill. Rior is pretty fast, not nearly fast enough with Tranquils, as well as the Windlace. Okay, I
Damn,
mean,
Tim.
now there's a Midas up on the OD. Tim's is going to get dusted up. He's going to die, I think. Death Ward will come out. Yeah, that's it. Sam H respawns, drops the Firestorm, but they're not punishing any of these dives. They're not punishing any of these heroes getting caught.
They should
Crimson
get at
might
least
fall,
Crimson.
but Velo could just come in and help out if need be. Cuckoo will find himself a heat-seeking missile kill. It was a 4,000, 5,000 net worth advantage at the beginning of the game for TNC at the first 7 minutes. It's now about even, by the way. There's like very little net worth advantage coming out for TNC. So they took a couple of fights. They fed Velo a little bit too much, perhaps. And now they're in a very, very tough situation, all right, like seemingly out of nowhere.
Well, they are and they aren't at the same time, though, I would say. Just because Geek Fam, I don't think Geek Fam are where they necessarily want to be with this draft, though. Because the OD, you have to go for the Midas, which is, like, it's a good item on OD in a lot of ways. It gives you attack speed, lets you do your Arcane Orb, and all that stuff. But ideally, most ODs, their dream is to just be able to buy a 4-staff, 5-man, and win the game. Like, you just push down all these towers with your team, you use your aura, you pop out an ulti or two, you go get Roche, all that stuff. So, the Luna as well. Like, Sionix only has his helm. Does he have anything on the courier? No, that's it. Like, just helm on this Luna. That's not okay. Like, he's not happy right now. He's below an Underlord in farm. So I think that despite like giving up a lot of this advantage right now, that's kind of expected when you're running a Tinker with bots and a Weaver that needs to get up into those serious items to actually be effective. Currently, they haven't done that much on Geek Fam. It's 14 minutes in, and they don't have a tier 1 tower down.
You're not wrong about it, but I feel like TNC could have played better given the time frame and exactly what you were talking about, realizing what heroes they had. I don't think they didn't really have to fight in the situations they were fighting, and they kept trying to just harass Velo, and I don't think that was a necessity. So.
True. We did know that they would need a buffer, though, because of their draft, and just like you would expect that they would have lost at least 1 tower by now, but they're kind of like chucking bodies at a situation that is delaying the side of Geek Fam, and then the split push from Raven coming through, like he's just mid right back up to top pushing this out. Tinker right back down the bottom trying to push that out, and maybe Velo will finally get a tower here as Tinker's pinging, and he's like, guys, I need help, I don't want to lose this tower.
I'll take that.
And this Tinker, this is before he has Blink Dagger, by the way, and
they have the glyph. Are they not gonna try play here?
I think this is just a dead tower.
Does that not work?
Instead of fighting
not
mid,
have
it looks like they're looking for Raji. They were wrapping in a moment. Tim's was thinking about it, but decided not to. Crimson's nearby would be, looks like a 3-for-3 considering that also over here is Psionics. But they're not pushing into mid. They're just content with farming, with Cuckoo, with Raven split pushing, getting to his Desolator. He's almost got enough for 1 Mithril Hammer. He already has his Dragonlance. He was looking for that Astral. He's still looking for it. He might find it. Oh, too far. Rotating top. Tim's is up here. Track is there. Shuriken gonna do some nice damage. Mid tier 1 tower being pushed back there. Sam H backing away. Glyph will come. Mech is up for him now. Velo's gonna come in. This should be denied, I think.
Even if this is denied, that's not even too bad, honestly, for the Dire. I mean, sorry, for the Radiant. Like, you're not exactly a lineup that's expecting to get that much done without grouping up fully. Especially without even Weaver putting pressure on this tower. If they're able to knock that down and help open up the map a lot for them. They could smoke up top, but they're going to require a dive, and there it is.
Blink. They're going to go for it. They have the silence. Time lapse comes out. Freezing field. Good Astral. The Pit of Malice is there. I don't know if both of these heroes can survive. Certainly not Raj. Sanities will go, doing absolutely no damage. The mech will come out. Sam H helping his squad, and just 2 very quick kills.
That's that overextension we're talking about, though. Like, sick smoke by Sam H and Rio. They were so ready for that play. Raven had been up here for so long, and Geek Fam baited into the trap.
Velo, the hero they want to go for. The track is up. I don't think they die for this, especially with Crimson coming in. They'll do some more damage to the tier 2 tower, but I think Raven just wants to get his Desolator before doing anything too crazy. Shuriken will go. Bit of Malice is there. Okay. He does have a hood, though. Still taking a lot of damage from Raven, though. Laser comes out. He's so low. The heat-seeking missiles, and Cuckoo will get the kill. The biggest thorn in TNC side is now dead. It's an unstoppable killing spree that goes to Cuckoo. And that is his Blink Dagger. And not only that, but close to his Aethers as well.
That's the storm, man. They've weathered it. They're past the scariest part in this game for TNC. And they didn't lose much at all. Just a tier 1 in the bottom lane. There's no real snowball potential for Geek. Or at least there's no giant group up potential right now for Geek Fam. And TNC are feeling great. Deso will be up here in just a moment for Raven.
Yeah, they have Deso. They're building into another mech for Bounty Hunter. Question mark. Maybe he'll change his quick buy, I would hope.
Yeah, I'm guessing he will. Actually, Crimson Guard's pretty bad anyway.
I mean, I guess he just has a casual buckler, which isn't great. Velo's gonna TP in and doesn't. Whoop, Sandwich doesn't really care. They're gonna take the tower. And, well, the rest of the squad of Geek Fam is coming in with the smoke of deceit. It almost feels like this is now or never. They have some good vision over here on the opposite side of the river if they want to go for it. Jump in, Sandmage, silenced up, magnetized there. He's got mech, he needs to get it off. He's going to, but he will still die to the Eclipse. Everybody needs to get back behind this tower. Velo, they've only gotten one out of this. Raven, though, he's been spotted. Time lapse is ready. He'll use it. He has to. Shikuchi ready to go. These missiles are getting spammed like crazy. Raj rolling boulders, but gets frostbitten. Now they throw out a shuriken toss as well. Velo is going to try to get away and cover the retreat of the rest of his team. Desolator doing some serious work to Velo. It's a 1-for-1 exchange. Might be looking for more. Rior has plenty of track targets up on the high ground, but if he walked up any further, he would have gotten killed. Heat-seeking missiles getting spammed out again. Velo just kind of clearing out the creep waves as much as he can, but again, it's artillery. It's an artillery barrage from long range coming out from Cuckoo, who now is just going to head bottom and then TP home.
Very nicely done. That probably could have went worse for Geek Fam, honestly, considering the Deso was now up. And yeah, Teehee though.
See you later.
This blink is just so good.
Yeah. Blink Tinker. Once you get to that point, it's so hard if you make a mistake because he uses Astral there. I mean, even if he doesn't use his Astral there, he still probably dies. I suppose you could Astral the Tinker and get out, but
Deso Gaming, of course. What else would you do but head into Roche?
yeah, this thing is gone. It is gone. TNC will take it. Raven grabbing the Aegis. 2 tier 2s up, ready to go, ready to be taken, ready for some gold to be handed over to TNC's way. However, a rotation down to bottom lane, looking to keep this wave pushed out as Cuckoo has consistently been TPing down there, marching it up. Now TNC will run down mid. The only person not there is Cuckoo in the top lane. Velo is just sitting nearby. They're going to go for the Frostbite. They'll find it. Desolator's going to come out. The Pit of Malice as well. Firestorm is there. Timber Chain away. Stays alive with that Hood of Defiance. Raj is going to try to get out as well. Heat-seeking missile spam's coming like crazy yet again, pushing everybody back. Buddha Restoration is doing well, but Crimson is taking too much damage. And they'll just be able to go ahead and try to take the Tier 2 tower. Velo lasered up, blinks out, coming from this Cuckoo Tinker, who is just crushing it. He'll even TP bottom and keep this Luna. Not doing too much work. Guardian Greaves gets popped. TNC looking to continue on. More tracks on the Velo. And they'll push into this top lane now.
Things look great. I mean, they found what they needed with this draft. It was the scary moments of that Death Ball sort of Luna strat never really came to fruition just because that ridiculous lead they had. Yeah, they lost a little bit of it, but you'd expect that with the levels and how those game fights are going to work out at that time period in the game. And Tinker is just ready to keep things going for the Dagon build. Again, just more abuse of these tracks. And Tim's wisely going to switch over into a Yule Scepter here. Definitely the right call. Cheapest item to still mean he can purge off Dust and be relatively useful in these team fights. Dust and Silences, of course, just to make sure he can still do his job without investing 3,000 gold into a secondary Greaves or something.
So for now, it looks like the Tinker will keep all the lanes pushed out and at bay while Raven goes ahead and pushes into that bottom tier 2. It is objective
Dude,
gaming
how do you
now.
just show up down there and laser that catapult? That's so rude by Cuckoo. Do you see that?
I'm like, listen.
Like, what was that?
What is
Raven's
this
just
Weaver
trying to
need?
farm up, dude. Like,
What
yeah,
is
go
this Weaver need?
take your
He's got an
neutrals.
Aegis. He's got a Desolator. He's got a Dragonlance. What
That's
does he
not
need?
cool, dude.
I mean, I would probably do the same.
I mean, that's like he should watch himself.
Okay.
Like, that's a
Are
that's
they
a
gonna,
we
are they
need
gonna
to
fight
talk
outside?
moment.
Raven and
It's a we need to talk. Like Cuckoo,
Raven and Cook are gonna
Uncle
have some
Knox,
words
we need to
outside.
talk. All right,
Speak privately.
we got our Bloodstone.
Oh yeah.
Velo's got that spam.
It's time. It is time for Velo to get back into this game. Meanwhile, Cuckoo threatening Psionics a bit. Rolling boulder from Raj. Looking for the... Ooh, very close.
Raven
Jump
kind
in.
of wasted his ult there. I don't know.
Velo looking for Raven. Remember, he has the Aegis. Pit of Malice. The Frostbite will go. The laser coming out. The Shuriken. The Dagon dead. See you later, Velo. You just got your Bloodstone. It's gone already. Crimson will take some more hits. These heat-seeking missiles, I don't think that'll kill him, but it'll get him. That might kill him. Yep. That range is insane.
That's one of the worst games to be a support, man.
You're just like, what do? I don't have a Force Staff. I don't have a Yules. Like, how do I survive this? Respawn, at least for Velo, is pretty low. As his Bloodstone charges were helping. But here comes Cuckoo again, this time with full mana and a dig in 2. And I think they continue to push high ground here without any real issues. Samage will walk up.
I like this from Tim's, too. He switches over to the Force Staff instead of the Yule Scepter. Much more of a team item than individual.
The Glyph will go. They're using just about everything they can to keep this game in the balance. It's just, Tim is walking on top. Oh, they know that he's there. They're going to bring him down, and that might stop this push. It looks like it will. You can see TNC backing away immediately after Tim's was caught out. There's this ward here and the sentry right on top of it. So that's given them at least 34 extra seconds to work with on Geek's Fam's side.
Well, at least they've held their tier 3. And, doesn't look like they'll be back.
I don't know. I think they want Velo.
Velo. Uh-oh.
I think Crystanova's going to go, but it misses. He's still in a heck of a lot of trouble. They've got Frostbite. They're going to use it. My God, man. There is some magical burst on this team. Not only that, but there's plenty of right-click from Raven with a Desolator. And he just bought another item, too. It's coming on the courier. It is a BKB. So good luck killing Raven, especially when he has an Aegis already.
It is going away in like 5 seconds.
Uh-oh,
like 10.
Cask, he might lose his Aegis.
Oh, man.
Well,
I think it's about
the perfect time to use it.
Yeah, seriously. There was like 8 seconds left, I
That
think, right now.
boulder smash. Sanities, they take him down twice. There it is. BKB wasn't there in time. Still, they'll get one. Dark Rift coming out. Looks like Sam H might be able to get away. He will. But he kind of leaves Tim's behind. Here comes the Tinker. Heat-seeking missile spam again. Bello chasing after Tim's. Timber chain forward. Cuckoo. Laser. Dagon. Not enough damage, but he's low. Rearm. There's the Lucid Beam. Heat-seeking missiles. Not enough. He'll fall. Psionics gets the dominating spree.
Uh-oh.
Bit of a misplay coming out from TNC.
That's not good.
The Weaver was too far forward. They have no way to cover his retreat. The BKB wasn't there. The Garden Greaves weren't there.
I think he was greedy trying to save his ulti or something, but
I think
now
he
Tim's
just
in
got
trouble.
Tim's getting some help with the Pit of Malice, but it's Timber Chain across the way from Velo. And I think Tim's is dead. He's trying his damnedest, but he will end up falling.
Oh!
And here it is. It's the Aghanim Scepter from the Luna, my friend. It's time.
I love it. Let's do it.
Is this the game-winning item, Trent?
This is how we do. I don't know.
Probably not.
I don't think so.
No.
It seems super scary to try and use against a very mobile heroes like a Tinker and a Weaver, but I'm down. I love watching it. Orbital Cannon, fire all missiles, launch, plus 40 Lucent Beam damage. Give it to me. Let me see this. I'm excited.
I've seen it before. It's worked on a few occasions.
I like it when they get the blink too. That's when things just get really out of hand. But luckily, you can just chuck it on top of Velo, dude. Yeah, no, it's all on Velo. Or especially even on the Raji too, you can do it.
Cool down.
Oh, he's coming back in. Cuckoo.
Cuckoo is in a very dangerous zone.
Dude,
Raji
can make plays here.
Good Cask. Rolling Boulder. Cuckoo's still okay for now.
Can't find him.
The Cask continues to bounce, and they will not get him. And I was criminal. I feel like they should have been able to get that hero one way or the other. Meanwhile, T top lane just uses Astral. Oh no. The Catapult. They have that's actually Dire Vision, so He's gonna make it out.
Have you looked at the range for an ally that you can cast this thing on?
For
Eclipse. If you highlight over it shows it.
Oh, what do you mean?
Like if you mouse over the Eclipse, it shows you the range you can cast it on an ally. Actually insane on Luna.
Oh wow, I didn't even notice.
Yeah, it like takes up the whole screen. It's that big.
It's the whole screen actually.
You can like fully zoom out.
Like you guys could just see it on the edge. Like the Weaver up there was just a little too far away when he came up above Roche. Uh-oh,
Crazy.
Sam H, Dark Rift, probably not gonna get off. Sanity's Eclipse used. They're staying in it, man. It's only about a 7,500 net worth advantage down for TNC. They are staying in it. Got a couple of big items. However, there is a Dagon 3, a Dagon 4 shortly coming after. Level 17 is up for the Tinker, so level 3 rearm will be momentarily. And then you can get a Hex on top of all that. That'd be huge. What about the Weaver?
Well, he's
Diffuse
still looking to
blade.
use that BKB.
He's got Diffusal Blade coming now. In fact, he's very close to it, actually. So he'll have that item next.
Fair enough. Kind of standard Weaver's stuff, I suppose. A little bit of chase. Try and lock some people down.
I think Rior is dead. Ooh, good slide to the low ground. Boulder Smash gonna miss. TPN. I think they can use a gem. There's a lot of very good dire wards here that have done a lot of work. Well, just see that one right there. It's just smoke immediately into D ward, and then realize like, well, I guess that's it.
Yeah, they was gonna kind of chill on the high ground here. Not worry about things too much as Geek fam. Maybe try and bait Raji a little.
They're
Yeah,
taking,
definitely the
they're
plan.
attempting to take Roche. Little do they know it's not up for another minute and 20 seconds.
Ah, it's nice being omniscient.
Yes.
You idiots.
I know everything.
Haha.
I'm Mott Dota. I have the
Oh,
advantage.
There's more ha-has later today as well.
Yes, if
For
you
more
enjoy
elimination mode.
grown men spouting memes, which I know I do.
Couldn't
Elimination
live without
mode is
it.
The place. I won't be there today because I'm tired, but I know everybody else will, and that's the party. I gotta say, elimination mode is some of the most fun you'll ever see if you enjoy
It
those
is.
personalities.
It's been something else.
It's been a good week, to be fair.
Right now,
I just
one of these
wish-
teams needs to be eliminated from this game.
Yeah, that's true. I just wish these SEA games weren't so early, so I could finally get some sleep.
It was nice when it was SEA right into Europe. That was perfect. That was like just a giant block of Dota. I was just like hooking myself up to the IV of
Well, isn't that
Mr.
what you're
Cat.
doing now? I guess it's not. I guess it's.
Well,
NA
now there's
for-
there's that break in between for NA.
Yeah.
Still do both, but there's just a big break that
I wonder.
can actually be productive at home and do
I wonder
things.
if the EM Grand Finals with OG is gonna be any earlier. I don't know.
Want to meet him halfway. Cuckoo blinks right into Sionix.
Uh-oh, Cuckoo. Eclipse is gonna
Pow,
come
pow,
out.
pow, pow.
Oh
They can't
my
find
god,
him.
is he actually gonna make it out? He has blink at 3. Missiles will
no.
come. He might make this. Yep, he's alive, I think. Blink
Didn't have
again.
rockets though.
Oh, they know that he's there.
Dyer's
And he
top
just
tower
did.
is
They had
under
Boulder
attack.
Smash. He's pinging him, but they won't go for it. Oh my god, so much space was created. They're at Roche now. And in comes the Weaver, the
That's
Desolator
actually
in
brutal.
tow.
They don't have that ulti. That's the thing about Luna. You invest in this Aghanim Scepter, and that's 2 minutes and 20 seconds where you like 4,200 gold does nothing.
Yeah, that's. You're not wrong. That's rough.
Yeah.
And they are not going to get to Roche nearly in time if they're attempting to. It's going to be the Aegis for the Weaver. What is the kill in his backpack? He's going to be going Scotty next. Interestingly. Hold on a second. All right. Just wanted to make sure.
A golden thread.
Anywho,
Anywho's it's.
Scotty is the next item for Raven. Any other big items coming out for either side? Rior has a Midas. I think he's had this for a while, actually. He probably brought it up, but I don't remember. Ags is about done for Cuckoo, which makes it even harder for some of these heroes to survive. There's no BKBs yet for anybody on Geek Fam. However, the one that is being built is by Teehee. So he will be able to survive with the rest of his team. Probably not once this Ags is completed. He's not too far off with it being about 100, some odd 200 gold away.
I feel like we haven't got to see too much of this Dagon yet, have we? I feel like it
Oh,
didn't.
he's done some work with it.
Has he?
Yeah, he's gotten 1 or 2 kills because of it.
Dyer's
Raven
bottom
taking some
tower
hits, needs
has
to be
fallen.
careful.
Got the tier 3, man. This is potential back status, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, this is already.
there's
you saw how much
5
damage they were
heroes.
doing. There's an Eclipse
Kinda
up in.
scary.
Well, it's up in 18. I think they have the Ags now for Cuckoo, so you have to determine, well, when do we go? When do we fight? Do I come now? The next creep wave is not until a little ways away. This is a dangerous decision. I think they're keeping the waves pushed in. Have him go bottom. Well, he's gonna go home first. But
Well, it's pretty good. They'll wait for Cuckoo to just keep spamming waves and try and get everything forced in. Now Teehee's not there. You can maybe inch up a little bit here.
I think
Raven,
they,
though. All that matters is Raji, right?
I think they should be going with this Aegis. Rior is walking up.
nice kick. They got
Rior
Luna- or
needs it
this,
to
yeah.
not be there. Forced away. Lotus Orb, Guardian Griefs. He's fine. Now Velo's a little too far out. But no follow-up because, well, mid lane, the Tinker continues his marksman. Now coming up in another stun, and they're going to lose the Aegis now. Not only that, but they lose the Underlord as well. Eclipse is gone. Shikuchi away. Silenced up. Needs to BKB. Time lapse will go. They'll lose Raji. Here comes Cuckoo. He's doing some serious work. Sanity's will grab Rior. They get the kill on the Weaver. It looks like he's already out the other direction. That could have been a lot worse for TNC. They're barely holding on in some of these fights.
I like that when they forced the Weaver time lapse from Raven, they didn't all commit back onto the Weaver inside the base. Instead, he just pops his BKB and runs at them because there's nothing they can do. Like the other core is a Tinker, so Cuckoo's going to be useless, and he just uses that time to kind of zone them all back. And unfortunately, all he gets is a CM, so it doesn't end up being that big of a deal. But TNC, maybe a little bit too cray-cray there. Getting the tier 3 with ease, but then
I don't know,
life just too difficult.
It feels so hard for them to walk up high ground now with Eclipse. With like if they're in the wrong position and they get boulder smashed, that's it. They're probably gonna die.
Well, and clipping the Underlord at the very beginning of the fight too was just brutal. Like it just they were totally fine with dropping the Eclipse on the Aegis because they got Sam H2. If it's just Weaver, they're not gonna. I mean, it's unlikely they're gonna solo Eclipse Aegis. So maybe TNC just gonna have to try and rethink their strategy and tactics for taking the high ground, or at least figure out some way that they can get Xionyx first. But they don't have that initiator. That is the one big thing they're missing.
We might be waiting a bit, Trent, before we have a victory to this game. I mean a long bit, especially after that fight. This game is starting to get a bit difficult for TNC. I think I've said that.
The tier 3 was huge though, because like now they can get the shrine. This shores up Roche for them. And maybe they're going to try and set something up for Geek Fam. Because I see OD pinging the shrine. He's like, look, they might all show up. Maybe we can find ourselves a good kill.
No, it's not up yet. Or they're not positioned yet. They're kind of making their way over to the shrine now. The gem is now up for Witch Doctor. Split push top. I think, wait, there's a ward that's
oh my god,
this
mischance. T missed twice uphill on this stupid illusion. It's just funny.
More Lotus Orbs coming out. A lot of Lotus Orbs for TNC, I think. There's one already.
Yeah, Underlord has one. They're very good this game for both sides. Especially for Geek Fam, just dispelling these tracks. Very useful.
It was pretty far out here if they wanted to go on him, but nobody is in the vicinity. 35 minutes in and we've hit a stalemate. Net worth advantage is 10,000 still for TNC. Not the biggest, but not the worst. Experience-wise, Geek Fam is actually leading in that department. A couple of big items coming out. Xionyx picks up his BKB. Velo picks up his Blink Dagger for the Timber Saw. So these are the items that you might need to be able to essentially find a team wipe. Again, you talked about a lot of Cuckoo's damage being, well, all of Cuckoo's damage being magical. Just doing so much damage, and when the BKBs are up, this is going to be a lot harder for him to be involved. Yes, he can pick out the back lines, but Raven's going to have to go toe-to-toe. Raven does pick up a heart, and this might be the best opportunity for them. They don't know this is here. Even if they do, I mean, can they kill him? He has a BKB, so if he BKB and he has his heart going, he can take a fight. Now the smoke, Raji's going to lock to the low ground. He's going to get spotted by Tim's. Gonna find the silence. It looks like Rio will get caught with it. TP's coming in now from a couple people. Good Pit of Malice. Raven now going toe-to-toe. BKBs has the heart. Raji running away. Xionyx still in trouble as well. Teehee pops his own BKB. Velo's so low. Can they get this kill? He is going to get Astral. Sam H is actually going to be able to get out here with his Dark Rift. Now Teehee alone. Velo coming back in so far. 1-for-0 trade. T about to fall. They're going to do so much damage with Raven. He's going to find another ultra kill coming here for Cuckoo at the end. Somehow comes in his lasers and heat-seeking missiles absolutely dominate. And Geek Fam, that was unfortunately maybe. I think with Teehee down 60 seconds and with the Timbersaw down for 20, that might be a Rax losing, if not game losing fight.
I'm not sure, and I might, well, it was kind of hard to tell. It kind of looked like Raven might have had a Lotus Orb on him, and then he got Hurricane Pike, because all I saw was like a billion Deso shots fly out of the sky.
Well, it wasn't his hurricane bike, that's for sure.
No, I know, but he had a Lotus Orb, so
And
yeah,
he was
I'm
hitting.
not sure.
He was hitting T-Heat from a very far distance.
Yeah, like that was crazy. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. It got reflected. It was just brutal. And well, that's an attempted eclipse play.
All right, they're holding on. He's got time lapse. He might need to use it here. Go to the racks as well. He needs to use the BKB. He's got to use the BKB. He'll get it, and now he'll start running. And here comes Cuckoo to cover his retreat. And Raven's got Chikuchi in one, and they can't chase him down. So somehow, out of all of that, Geek Fam only loses the melee racks. It's crazy.
Yeah, but again, good for TNC. Good fight. That fight was very, very difficult for Geek Fam the way it started out. The second Earth Spirit initiates, he didn't see anyone. He saw CM, and that's just like absolute, literal worst case scenario. Like, there's no one else he would that could like possibly be worse for this guy. He just like throws a Revenant on her and silences her, and then we.
Oh my God, okay. Tims, how are you still alive? Tims, you've just made so much space for your team, and now Velo might fall because of it. Luckily, he gets to the other side. Cuckoo's here. He has to deny himself. Velo's down. Lucid Beam coming out. Good cast, but only onto Raven. Now that
that's a DD.
Crimson, see you later. You just got two-shot. Pretty much his auto attack and the Geminate to follow up got the kill. Tim's just, again, made so much space for his team that he probably got them a building or two out of it.
Yeah, I was just talking because I thought he was just dead.
Yeah, I thought so too, my friend.
I thought he was just going to go on down, and he just kept running in circles.
Turns out he is pretty damn good at this game. Also at running. All right, here we go. T-He going to get rooted up. He might have his BKB. In fact, it looks like he's going to have to Astral this. His BKB is, in fact, available. He has his Hurricane Pike, and he'll do so to get away. He has to pop the BKB, though. Tier 3 down. Rack's not taken, nor was the range Rack's taken. They might go back up again. March now covering. He's keeping this pushed in. Roche is up in a minute. Back to finish off the shrine.
Rior God, dude. He's got the BKB.
Does he really?
The hype. CM hype.
He is pretty farmed. That Midas is paying off. He's got to go into Roche too, and he's going to be like, you've got to be kidding me. When is this thing going to respawn?
These are the golden items, man. Force Staff, BKB. All you need on Crystal Maiden. That's the life right there.
Raven's also getting a butterfly too, so...
A golden thread.
I mean... They
He's
really
already
just have to fight it.
To kill.
Well, they have to fight him when the BKB is down. I think that might be the only way with like a level 3 Eclipse from the Luna. I just... the fact that Geek Fan was so far behind in the beginning of this game, if they just had a bit of a better start, I think they have a good chance at getting out there and getting a victory, but easier said than done.
Gold.
Well,
yeah.
40 minutes the game has gone so far. Starting to get to that late game. Let's see where we go from here. When do we start moving? I think
this is one of these like this draft by TNC is one of these drafts where sometimes you watch a game like this and you go back and you look at it and go like how because they lose or something, you're like, why on earth would you ever draft this lineup? Because if you look at it, they're missing a lot of those kind of normal things. They have no initiation, and I think that is important to point out. Like literally none. Like what the hell is initiation on this team? You just have to like run into them. I mean, it's total garbage.
It's like Frostbite and Pit of Malice is an issue.
Yeah, like there's none of those traditional heroes. And at least Earth Spirit kind of covers some of that for the Dire, but it's just so much about like getting that control of the map, and then the way Kuku's able to just dance around. And they saw a really good moment with this Tinker in the 5th pick, and not needing to go for that sort of initiation through the mid lane or anything like that, where they weather through that storm of this group up kind of a lineup for Geek, and then they just know that they need a 5-man if they're going to accomplish things. So we just spread the whole map, we're just pushing it all out, and you guys can't jump on us either unless Raji becomes a god, and he's just not finding the plays this game.
Raji's done a good job, but that was before, you know, when they were kind of grouped up, and I think TNC made the adjustments appropriately to not get hit by stuns like that anymore. And here we go. It's all 5 mid now, and I think this is where the siege begins. Hurricane Pike will come. Just Chikuchi's away from it, so now that's on cooldown. Although Raven taking some damage, gets forced away by his team. Cass is still bouncing, staying about half HP. They're going to go ahead and Guardian Greaves up. Get ready to go again. Just try to do as much damage to these Raxes as possible. These missiles continue to be spammed, but the Voodoo Restoration keeping everybody healthy. It is a tough job to get these Rax down. They're chipping away. Velo comes in. It's a little aggressive. Here comes a bit of Malice. Frostbite not there. They don't have the damage. They don't want to attack him. And again, it's a very tough job getting this Rax down. The high ground defense for this team is, with just the Timber Saw alone, pretty solid.
Yeah, again, this is like what their draft line like kind of comes down to, though, where it's you don't kill Geek Fam heroes, you just weather through it, and that's why this heart makes a lot of sense too. Because until Geek Fam actually commit to a fight, they're never really going to on the Radiant. Here we go for Velo.
Frostbite, no follow damage. Man, yeah, this is a very siege-oriented lineup. Meanwhile, they're getting the wave pushed in because the Tinker is sitting down bottom, and this leaves Raven to go for the range racks, and now he's starting to go right under the melee racks.
Fires the missiles.
Yeah, he's doing just that.
Oh my god.
It's a barrage. There's nothing you can do about it. And they're going to just take the racks now. So finally they chip away enough. Great play from Cuckoo to make enough space that they get a full set of racks. They almost get the range racks bottom. And it only takes maybe one more auto attack from Raven or two to get the job done. And now they just go straight to top because guess what? They still have the Aegis. Cuckoo's going to come back in. And it's still just as hard as it was previously. Pit of Malice dropped down. BKB now finally done for the Timber. They have to make some sort of defense sooner rather than later. Otherwise, they're going to lose every single building. They're going to smoke up. They're going to try to come in. Here's the BKB. The fight breaking out. Good Eclipse. BKB's everywhere. Rior gets off his full freezing field, but everybody is BKB'd up. It's a 1-for-1 exchange. 2-for-2, actually, because the Earth Spirit did go down. Hex now up. It's going to be on Velo. If they get a Hex again, Lotus Orb comes out. They needed it. Meanwhile, I think the Weaver's still going to work on the base. He actually got the melee Rex. Cuckoo taking some serious damage. He's going to try to man-fight Sandy's Eclipse, but that's just the Aegis. Still, though, they're holding on Geek Fam's side. There's going to be the stun up from the Earth Spirit. Shikuchi away from Raven, and he's fine. He is good to go. Until he gets Astral here, he's in trouble. Another good Hex coming out.
And he still has this butterfly, like... Oh, just go back in, Raven.
Him.
I believe in you.
He was thinking about time-lapsing. He will. And then Shikuchi's away. Meanwhile, Cuckoo TP's
Creeps
in.
are getting bottom.
Clears out the creep wave. They're about to get this Rax bottom with 2 more auto attacks. He says, screw it, it's not worth it, but he might die anyways. Cask will come through. Cuckoo in trouble. And looks like they'll find this kill. Perhaps Hex up. And they should get it.
Oh my god,
so
Cuckoo.
there's no way he should get out of this. Okay, the loose beam. Dark Rift coming through. Gets canceled. And now Tim's is left alone. And he'll die. But
yeah,
unfortunately,
but look what Raven's up to.
Yeah, he got Megas. And the bottom racks also fell. So it is Megas now as TNC have chewed their way, clawed their way after 45 minutes to a significant advantage with really losing minimal casualties.
Yeah, this is a great game from TNC. Just, there was really... Again, I would definitely call it the way more difficult lineup to execute, and they did it. It was just that crazy snowball at the very beginning where they switched up the lanes because they knew they couldn't send Underlord into Timber Saw, rightfully so. And then they absolutely dumpstered that Timber Saw by going aggro, which isn't that easy to do in the first couple levels with a CM and a Bounty Hunter, but they got it done. And then Bounty's game was just, what was it, 6 minutes? He was level 4 and had Arcane Boots.
Yeah.
Pretty good start for a Bounty Hunter, and he just catapulted from there.
He could have had 6 very fast as well. The unfortunate thing is he died a couple times. But I imagine Geek Fam are going to hold on until we get one final fight that really just ends it. And that might be a while because we're still waiting on the Tinker. We're still waiting on the Bounty Hunter. So what turned... they lost Rax at about 43 minutes. It's 46 now. And we have a wraparound gang. Raj coming in. Raven spots him out. The Swarm goes. Will miss. Glimmer Cape is there. Making sure he dodges all of that. Good Shikuchi in front of Raj to make sure he can't get that boulder, rolling boulder away. He still might die here considering how much damage he does. Yep. And Raven doesn't even have any qualms about defusing himself. So now Raj dead for 62 seconds with a numbers advantage. Time to keep the waves pushed in.
Yeah. It's I'm surprised they're even staying in this right now for Geek Fam. I guess they're just hoping for something, but I mean they have like scythe and everything, and they're getting forced out for nothing.
All right. MKB now up for the Weaver. And in the base they go. I don't know what you can do here if you're Geek Fam. Just spam. They found the Hex that's going to be on the Luna, and she is going to die very fast. Crimson dies even quicker with about 2 hits. Now they will find Cuckoo. Buybacks are coming. Cuckoo will fall. He'll buy back, interestingly enough. See, he getting low. He's still alive for now, but again, Raven finds a double kill. They're even going in hard on Velo, and it's just too much damage. Sirius is going to go ahead and pop his Manta style. Cuckoo actually might die back here. He's very low. Still, the Death Ward will bring him down. Not that it matters. Everybody else is dying. It's a dieback for the Luna, dieback for the OD. GG is called.
Great game 2 at a TNC. Very well done. They're showing off power this Underlord in a couple of these fights. And honestly, this game could have been over a lot earlier too, if it wasn't for that like one fight where they had the Aegis and they pushed a little bit too deep onto the racks and they brought down the Aegis. Then the Weaver second time when Raven couldn't get off the ulting time, maybe getting a little bit greedy trying to hold his BKB, and then that kind of delayed us out further and further. But in the end, only one tower down for Geek Fam, and there's a knockdown that is. And TNC looked very potent in this game. Just that ridiculous snowball in the first 5 minutes just really helped them get over that hump of the Luna group up, and that was like all Geek Fam strategy depended on. Then the split push was able to come in from the Weaver and the Tinker, and GG again. Big shout out there to Tim's on the bounty hunter. I mean, this guy's an Earth Spirit god. Turns out he's very, very skilled at the bounty too.
So an outstanding performance coming out from TNC in game number 2. They split the series 1 apiece. Geek Fam looking even better than I think a lot of people anticipated, making a solid debut. And that's going to be it for us today for Mr. Cat. It's been a long run, starting at 4 in the morning, ending at about 9 here